Today, we're going to find out who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. It'll either be the Chicago Bears or the New York Giants. The last time the Bears were this deep in the playoffs was in the 1988 season, where they lost 28-3 against the San Francisco 49ers. The last time they were in the Super Bowl, 1985. The Giants, on the other hand, were in the Super Bowl 5 years ago, where they lost to the Baltimore Ravens 34-7. Last time they won the Super Bowl, 1990. One of these two teams will have a chance to bring a Lombardi back to their state for the first time in 20 and 15 years. Who wants it more? We're going to find out next here in Chicago. The Giants won the coin toss and elect to receive the past two games with New York. The team that received the ball first had terrible drives to start the game. The kick will be fielded in the back of the end zone. Joyce taking his time but chooses to kneel it. Their drive will start at the 20. Giants were 4-12 2 seasons ago and have seen a big turnaround thanks to Coughlin. There's the snap. Chicago brings a corner blitz going deep. Shockey can't hold on through the hit from Mike Brown. That will be counted as a drop for Jeremy Shockey in the stat sheet. Normally, he's a mismatch. He hasn't had too much of a struggle making plays during the postseason. Plaxico goes in motion to the left side. Another blitz from Chicago, gets it out quickly. Toomer with a grab and tackled short of the first. Peyton's younger brother had a great rookie season when he was given the starting job over Warner. Where did Warner go? Chicago. That's what makes this game so important. Was it the right choice to make him the franchise? It's a handoff. Barber gets a good enough block from Finn. No 3 and out on this drive. Going back to Warner, it makes sense to give the keys to Peyton's younger brother because this team wasn't in a win-now mode. In the pocket, moves to his right, sets his feet, and still led his receiver too much. Had Amani open, but put a little too much Hawk 2 on it. The Giants don't have a terrible team, at least on offense. Their defense was very questionable. The argument could be made that they'd still be here with Warner at quarterback. In the pocket, throws, and somehow got that to Burris. I'm pretty sure Peyton's younger brother is a magician, because how the heck did he get that in there? Also, this Chicago front four completely obliterated the offensive line. How did they not get to him? He may just be in his second season, but he's playing like a 10-year pro. Handoff up the middle, and he's met by Brian Urlacher at the line. He was like a 2-ton truck pulling a trailer on that play. The Giants' defense has been good in the playoffs, but this Chicago team is built off of their defense. They bring another corner blitz, going deep. Plaxico just out of his reach, incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Pressure seems to be a much bigger issue today, and it's only the first drive of the game. They need 10 for the first. He drops back, pumps down the middle. Burris makes the catch and holds on to it for the first. Such a good signing for the Giants. I'm sure people are tired of hearing that Plaxico signed with the Giants in the offseason, so I won't even mention it. Chicago brings another blitz. Toomer is one-on-one, but was also pushed off his route. Could have messed with their timing. It's a bit surprising to see so many blitzes from the Bears. They haven't gotten to the quarterback, but they're making him rush his throws. Peyton's younger brother pumps down the middle. Rivers drops the pass. It hit him right in the hands. I think he's blaming it on the cold. Another 3rd and long on the drive. The team seems to have a case of the dropsies at the moment. He drops back, running out of time, throws, and he's lucky that wasn't picked off. It'll fall incomplete. Believe it or not, that counted as a drop for Plaxico. For the first time in the playoffs, the New York Giants won't be scoring on their first possession. Fiegels with the punt. It's a high one. Returner isn't going to field it, and it goes out of the end zone. Chicago will start their drive at the 20. Even though Kurt Warner was the starter for their Week 1 matchup against the Giants, the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Guadalupe Waters, takes over the starting role for the rest of the season. Waters in the pocket finds Terrell past the first, 13 yards on the reception. I guess that's why he was the Rookie of the Year. Great anticipation on that throw. Protection was good. Throw on the peak of his drop. Can't do it any better than that. One of the best ways to help a quarterback is to have a great defense and running game. Don't ask the quarterback to do too much until he gets better. Waters, great protection, throws, Booker with the first after the catch. That was just a simple throw on a slant. The receiver did most of the work there. Protection deserves credit for holding up on the play. Like I said, don't ask the quarterback to do too much. Keep it simple, and they kept it simple. Their running game took a chance on Thomas Jones. He hasn't done much at this point, but don't be surprised if he's used more throughout this game. Also, don't be surprised if you see him in Luke Cage. Quick drop down the middle, off the hands, and into Sean Williams for the interception. Just an unfortunate play for the rookie Waters. He's upset about that one, and I don't blame him. Perk Williams was just at the right place at the right time, off the tight end's hands. There's been more dropped balls today than a middle school going through puberty. Giants with the ball at the 38. It's a quick drop, and he holds on to it for too long, sacked for a loss of 3 on the play by Robinson. I've never been a fan of quick drops. They have to get rid of it quickly. If the first read isn't there, play's over. It's not a quick drop here, but there's no time to throw. Pressure up the middle immediately, and Triplet gets the sack. Now I see why he's called Triplet. He's like the size of 3 people. One guy is not going to be good enough to block this man. Play was over before the quarterback got to the peak of his drop. Look at him fly. The front 4 for the Bears have been putting in work. They seem to do worse when they bring the blitz. Let your big boys play. He's in the pocket. Great protection. And this defense wasn't going to give up the big play. They allow 10 to Burris on the throw. This will be the second punt in the game for the Giants. They've finally met their match against this tough Chicago defense. This will also be the 4th change of possession in the game. It's a low snap. Feagles handles the ball, and it's going to be a low punt fielded at around the 22. He has space, but the blockers don't help him out. Tillman will be tackled at the 33. On their last drive, the Bears were marching down the field, but a dropped ball caused an interception. Let's see if they can run the ball more because of it. It's a play action, throws, Booker on the short comeback for a gain of 6 on the reception. A simple throw to give their rookie some confidence back after the way their last drive ended. U and R and number 1. This will most likely be the final play of the first quarter. No points, but there's been a lot of action. It's a rollout right side, and Sean Williams comes in on the blitz for a clean hit on the quarterback. Loss of 5 on the play. Williams already had an interception on the day. Now he can add a sack to his resume. Usually by the end of a quarter, each team has held the ball at least once. This time each team has touched it twice. We could be in for a defensive battle. Game is still scoreless. Welcome back to the second quarter of this NFC Championship game. The winner moves on to the Super Bowl. The loser will probably never live up to the expectation ever again. Sounds fun. Giants bring a blitz, throws, and off target. Had a small window to gauge, but incomplete. 4th down coming up. I wonder how much of that sack that Sean Williams had on the drive rattled Guadalupe Waters. Even the interception by him must have shook his confidence a little bit. The Giants aren't even going to cover the punt. They didn't even look like they're trying to block it either. This will be fair caught, and their next drive will start at their own 27. It's a bit strange seeing this Giants team struggle to move the ball. Last week they were moving it easily on the Eagles. It's a pitch, right side, Barber breaks a tackle, Brown breaks his ankles. Does he have the speed? They're chasing him down, but can't bring him down. Finally tackled at the Chicago 27. He may not be as fast as he used to be, but he can still make you miss. Give the man a round of applause. Barber takes the pitch. Plaxico misses his block. Doesn't matter. Barber takes him to the barber shop. Then Mike Brown, who I absolutely dislike, go see my other series why, gets juked on, and the rest was all speed. Well, not a lot of speed, but some speed. We haven't seen much from Barber. That was only his 3rd touch on the day, and it was a good one. The other 2, not so much. Another blitz from Chicago. Amani with the catch, 9 yards to get near the first. Don't know why they're blitzing so much. They've had success getting to the quarterback with their front four. Why make it easier for your secondary to be picked apart? It's a handoff up the middle. Briggs with the tackle at the sticks, but it's enough to give up the first. That was his 4th carry in the game. Other than the big run, they've done a good job stuffing Barber. It won't mean anything if those runs put them in positions to score, like on this drive, allowing the Giants to get into the red zone. Another handoff right side, trying to get to the sideline, but Urlacher stops all of Barber's momentum and even changes his direction. What a tackle. Tiki Barber may have over 10 yards to carry, but the past 2 touches he's barely managed 5 yards combined. The defense is tightening up. It's a sweep left side. Barber has one guy. Barber breaks it. Barber with the disrespects. Barber with the touchdown, 17 yards to give them the first points in the game. Tiki Barber still got it, baby, to the house like Desmond Howard. Every time I think Barber has nothing left, he pulls me back in. It took longer than I expected, but finally one of the teams got on the board. Giants now with that extra point up 7-0 thanks to Tiki Barber's 64 yards on the ground on this drive. 2 big runs, one of them, that touchdown. The Bears have some work to do now. Their first drive ended with a turnover, ball bounced off the receiver's hands and into Perk Williams' arms. Their second drive ended after a 3-and-out. Waters was sacked, but then his next pass was off the mark. Hopefully it was just a bad throw and not something worse, as they'll start their next drive at the 28. This isn't good. There's an injured man on the field, Gabriel Wilson. It looks like it might be a leg injury. He's a backup. There wouldn't be an impact to the defense, but you never like to see anyone get hurt. There you have it. The Indianapolis Colts will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. It's a pitch right side. Thomas has a hole, but Stoutmire closes in and pushes him out of bounds. A gain of 6 on the run. Nothing better on a cold day than some warm nuts. If the team can get the ground game working, they can ease Waters back into some confidence. It's a handoff. Claiborne can't make the tackle. Thomas gets enough for the first down. Stoutmire with a big hit to put him down. Thomas and Barber had similar stats last season. He could be as good as him in the future. Chicago may be in good hands with him and Waters carrying the team. Even though the defense gave up a touchdown, they're still one of the best in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised to see them back here next year. It's a draw up the middle. Stoutmire with his 3rd straight tackle on Thomas, only allowing 2 on the carry. At some point you're going to have to pass again. I think now is as good a time to see if Waters isn't suffering any effects from the sack. It's a quick drop, congested all around him, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Let's see what the refs have to say.
Ineligible receiver, number 74, offense.
That penalty was illegal touching, which shouldn't have been called, but New York isn't complaining about it. Sean Williams coming in on the blitz. But that pass was off the mark. Maybe seeing Williams coming at him gave him PTSD. There's Wilson on the sideline getting further evaluation. This will most likely be the final play before the 2-minute warning. 3rd and long for Chicago. Giants defensive line can let her rip knowing they're not going to run for the first down. Waters drops back, and untouched Fred Robbins sacks the quarterback. They didn't have anyone block him. I mean, they did have someone block him, but he just moved out of the way and let him get to the quarterback. Lovie Smith is not liking that one bit. Maybe the offensive line wants Kurt Warner in the game. Keep in mind, Warner was the starter when they won their first matchup, but it was also at the start of the season. These are 2 different teams at this point in the year. Baskin-Robbins with his 3rd sack in the playoffs should start calling them scoops, as this is going to be returned near the 20, past the 30, got a block, somehow got an extra 10 yards out of that, and they'll be starting their drive at their own 39. There's still plenty of time to use the running game. The Chicago defense seemed to struggle against it on the last drive, giving up 2 big runs. To handoff, Barber, Woodson, with the worst attempt of a tackle I've ever seen. There's Coughlin talking to his defense, telling them to keep it up. Ever since that forced turnover, they've been dominant. The question going into the last offseason was how much longer can Barber continue to be their bell cow? If today's any indication of his future, he has a few more years in him. Peyton's younger brother in the pocket, moving, running, scrambling. He's got the first. Look at all that space. He runs out at the 33, and that was a 25-yard run by the quarterback. Chicago completely forgot the kid has wheels. With all that space, I could have gotten that first down. I don't think I would have gotten the 25 yards, but I'd at least get the 7. What can't this kid do? He can throw, he can run. There's really not much more than that, but he's good at it. The Giants team is in good hands as long as they keep him in as the quarterback. He drops back, they bring a corner blitz, pumps, hit as he throws, almost picked off, and I don't know if you saw that, but the receiver was tackled. Should have been a PI. That was not a tipped pass. To be fair, the pass was also uncatchable, but still, he shouldn't be allowed to hit a defenseless receiver. It's a quick drop, has time, but he just can't find anyone. Eventually they got to him. It won't be a sack, he fell forward for a yard. Question is if they try to get the first or make for an easier field goal. Chicago brings another blitz, going deep, one-on-one. Toomer makes the catch. He could have walked in if he wanted to. The veterans on this team are making the big plays today. The sideline is pumped and will now have a 2-touchdown lead potentially going into the half. They brought the blitz again, and I don't know why teams keep blitzing him. He put it in the only place his guy could have gotten it. How do you cover that? There's going to be less than a minute left in the half. I think if you're Chicago, you have to try and put up some points before the quarter ends. It's a good snap, kick is up, and it's now 14-0. Thanks to that Amani Toomer touchdown grab, these older players are proving they still got plenty left in the tank. If you're Guadalupe Waters, what do you have to do to fix this slump you're in? Going back to that sack that he took from Sean Williams, he just doesn't seem the same after he took that hit. Doesn't help that Robbins also took a shot at him as well. As this is going to be returned back to the 23-yard line, we'll see if he can get out of the slump. No slumping for Peyton's younger brother. Doesn't look like the Bears are coming out to score. They might just want to get to the half without making a mistake. It's a run left side. Thomas having to work around his line, trying to break a tackle, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Clock is running. There's really no urgency from Chicago. I think if a play happens, they'll take it. If not, they're fine going into the half. Waters drops back, throws, caught by Gage. Chicago let the clock run down to 3 seconds before calling a timeout. I'm guessing this will be the final play. It's a handoff. Okay. This might be the final play. I have no clue. It's going to be a pass, right? Doesn't look like a pass. It's another run. Thomas lowers the shoulder and maybe gets 3 on the carry. That's how the half is going to end. A very confusing drive. Looked like they didn't care to score, then they cared, then they didn't care. What is Chicago doing? They'll be going into the half down by 14, but they'll receive the ball to start the second. Welcome back to the second half of this NFC Championship game. At the moment, the Giants are up 14-0 and only half a game from having a Manning Super Bowl. We'll see if Chicago can come back and play spoiler. The Bears haven't had a great first half. The offense was driving on their opening drive, but after an interception, the confidence has been shaken off of their rookie quarterback, Waters. They need their Rookie of the Year to be at 100% if they want to win. As the return man squeaks through a hole, he doesn't have the speed, but will get him to the Chicago 39. As you can see, the interception on the first drive, but the sack on the second drive may have done more damage. They haven't done much since. Even though Waters was the Offensive Rookie of the Year, maybe the pressure is beginning to mount on him, especially being this close to becoming the first starting rookie quarterback to ever go to the Super Bowl. It's a dive up the middle, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Lynch with a tackle. I forgot that he won the award on defense. That means the Offensive Rookie of the Year and the Defensive Rookie of the Year are going head to head. Which one of these rookies comes out on top? Right now it looks like Lynch. Receiver goes in motion, in the pocket, going deep, and Allen knocks it away. At least this pass was on target. If they don't get this first down here, I really don't know how much longer the Chicago defense can hold. The Giants have seemed to figure them out. This is a huge third down here in the pocket. Plenty of time and off the mark again. There's something wrong with the Waters. He needs to get checked. I think it might be time to trot out Kurt Warner. He did beat this team before. I'm sure he's hungry to get another chance at revenge. But how much would it shake the confidence of the rookie if you bench him now? This punt will be fielded from inside the 10. Joyce on the return, tackle down at the 16. That was a nice punt in coverage. There's still a lot of time in the game, but you need to start worrying if you're Chicago. They need to get a stop here, and they've had a hard time stopping them on the last 2 drives, not able to stop them in the air or on the ground. It's a handoff. Barber has space, stiff arms Brown to the ground. What can Brown do for you? That's the second time he's been embarrassed in open space. It's also going to give them another first down. The defense has shown their cracks. I think it's just a matter of time before they completely break. The offense hasn't helped them. It's a play action. They do bring a blitz. Gets it out to Shockey, who tries to fight his way for another first down on the drive. I think at this point the Giants have them figured out. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to chew up as much clock as they can. They used the play action to suck everyone in and had an easy throw down the middle to his big tight end. He did drop one earlier in this game. They have a big weapon in the middle with Shockey, but you still have to worry about Toomer and Plexico on the boundaries. Amani has 1 touchdown on the day, got it right before the end of the half. It's a quick drop, throws, and Plexico holds on through the hit. He got gored out of the air. He only got 9 yards on that catch. A surprising lack of runs for this team, but they handed off on this play and he somehow snuck through. I don't know how he got through the offensive line, but that's another first down. The elusiveness that Barber had on that last play was fun to see, or the defense lost sight of him. Could have been a combination of both. That was also his 9th carry in the game, 88 yards in total and a touchdown. Make it his 10th carry of the game. Can't break Woods in here, but gains 5 on the carry. 7 more yards to go, over 100 on the day. That was their 2nd consecutive run. I don't think they're worried about the Bears offense at the moment. I think they're just going to continue to run the clock, give them as little time to work with. A 3rd straight handoff. Barber met at the line, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. John Mobley on the tackle. Wait, hold up. I thought he retired. He has a chance to make his 3rd Super Bowl appearance. For those who don't know, John Mobley was a part of the Broncos team that won back-to-back Super Bowls with Elway. In the pocket, pumps, steps up, throws, and it's picked off by Mike Brown. He has been a punching bag most of the game, but he punches back here. Peyton's younger brother with his 2nd interception in the playoffs, and of course it would be to Mike Brown, taking every opportunity to screw my rebuilds over every chance he can get. Jumped right in front of that pass. Just a bad decision to throw that one. That might have saved the Bears' season. Mike Brown has had 1 interception in the entire playoffs, and of course, it had to be against us. He hates me in the shotgun, and he steps up right into a sack. Alright, I think something is definitely wrong with them. They need to take this kid out before he hurts himself even more. I get it, he's tough, but being tough won't mean anything if this is his last game he ever plays. If you're not going to take this kid out, at least make it easy for him. Hand it off, make the defense back off, do something. You can't let him continue to get hit, or else he's going to have a short career. To hand off, Thomas fighting through Claiborne and finally brought down by a gaggle of Giants. It might be too late to continue to run it. Now you put this poor kid in another 3rd and long, asking him to hold on to it. Considering how much he's been beaten up today, this might not end well. Drops back, gets rid of it quickly, but it's not going to be anywhere near close enough for the first, setting this kid up for failure. That's going to be a 3-and-out for the Bears. It's not looking good for them now. Less than a minute remaining in the 3rd, and the Giants are set to have the ball back. The past 2 games, they've ran out the time for entire quarters. I think this might be it for Chicago, as this is going to be returned past the 20, down at the 24. This next drive could determine the outcome of this game. Peyton's younger brother comes out to potentially put an end to Chicago's dreams of returning to the Super Bowl. If he succeeds, the question will be, why did Chicago not put in Warner? He steps up, throws, bounces off the hands of Plexico. Way too many drops today. It's a bit surprising to see the Giants continue to attack the air, but I guess they don't want them to think they're afraid to throw after that last drive ended on an interception. It's a pitch, right side, Finn with a good block, but Plexico doesn't help him. Tillman with the tackle, allowing 4 on the run. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Giants have a 3rd down coming up. They're currently leading 14-0 over Chicago. A first down could make it harder for a comeback. Welcome back to the final quarter. Giants are up by 2 touchdowns, but anything can happen in the NFL. We're going to find out at the end of this quarter who in the NFC will go to the Super Bowl. Drops back in the pocket, down the middle, and Finn makes the catch. It bobbled in his hands, and he made the catch on 3rd down for another first down. He hasn't had too many plays in the playoffs, but when he does, it's noticeable. That's another clutch play by the fullback, Finn. It's a sweep right side. Barber breaks a tackle. Urlacher chasing and brought down after the first down. That's going to get Barber over 100 on the day with that carry. That's the second time he's gone over 100 in the playoffs. I don't know what happened to him. It's like he drank some baby blood. He's playing like he's 21 out there. Look at him. How do you stop him? You can't. Just in case you didn't believe me, over 100 in the game today. Thanks, graphics team. I can always count on you to have my back. They're near the logo, almost on the 50. Just over 4 minutes left in the game. Can they run the clock? It looks like they're going back to Barber up the middle and lost one on the play. Mobley with the tackle. It doesn't seem like he's going to get a chance to go to his 3rd Super Bowl with the clock running out the way it is. At this point, it's almost guaranteed that it's going to be a Manning Bowl. Shockey going to motion to the left side, another handoff. Barber this time. Brown makes the tackle, gain of 4 on the carry. He didn't get a lot of carries to start the game, but once he broke off that 46-yard run, everything changed. Momentum went to the Giants and they never let it go. Another handoff, right side, Barber, and he just juked out 2 defenders, Urlacher and Woodson, looking silly out there. Another first down given up on the drive, this one on 3rd down. How do you expect to win this game when you can't even stop an old man from bullying these young kids? Well, Woodson isn't that young, but you get the point. 3rd and long, and they let a runaway retiree get a first down. It's another handoff, runs into his own guy. Brown cleans it up. It's a gain of 4 on the run. That last play would run the clock down to the 2-minute warning. At this point, any chance that Chicago has at winning goes out the window if they don't get a stop here. I wonder how many people are skipping forward to see if they make the stop. It's a handoff. He takes it outside, but there was nothing anywhere. Game comes down to this play. They give it up, it's over. 9 yards to go. Can Chicago make the stop? Barber, outside. Can't make Urlacher miss. Stuffed. The past 2 plays were stuffed by the Bears. This may be their final chance to try and mount a comeback. Fiegels, never say retire, is back to punt it off. He's really taking his time deciding where he wants to go with it. Aiming for the corner, or is he going to do a pooch punt? There's the snap, the punt. It's a high one. A rainbow, but it might be too far, and it is. It goes out the end zone. Chicago will start their next drive at the 20. We're going to find out if Waters has the clutch gene in him, or was it knocked out earlier. They bring the blitz, throws, and it's almost picked off. Didn't put enough air on it. Cousins was the player who almost picked it off. I'm not even sure what Waters' stats are ever since that hit by Sean Williams, but it can't be good. 2nd down here, he drops back, going down the middle, and it's almost picked off by Sean Williams. It was gifted to him, and he couldn't hold on. The game could have been over right then and there. Instead, the Bears survive for another down, 3rd down. Waters throws, and I'm surprised that wasn't called PI. I've seen flags thrown for less. It's now 4th down. They need a first down. 3 straight incompletions on some bad throws, bad hands, and bad calls. Waters in the pocket. Berrien can't hold on to it. Berrien was a stud in my other series. He's going to be the GOAT in Chicago for this one. They already hate him. They're looking up his address. Everything went right on this play. The blocking, the route, the throw, but not the hands. The game is basically over. The Bears still have 1 more timeout. I don't know if they'll use it here, but it won't change the outcome. They will still lose. They chose to use their final timeout. From what I can see, they may have about 5 to 10 seconds left to do something, but at this point, they should have just let it run out. Who else is excited to see the Manning Bowl in the Super Bowl? There has never been 2 brothers on opposing sides facing off each other in the biggest game in the NFL. When it's all said and done, will he still be remembered as Peyton's younger brother? It looks like they'll attempt a field goal just like last week, adding insult to injury. This wouldn't be happening if they just let the clock run, but here we are. There won't be much time left after this play. To high snap, but the hold was good and the kick was even better. The New York Giants are now up 17-0. There's now only 4 seconds left in the game, not enough time to make up those 17 points, but it'll be good enough for this kick return. They almost broke one off, we'll see if they can break this one. It'll be returned from about the 5-yard line, no blockers in front of them, past the 20, and with 1 second left, that was a very long 1 second. And this will be the final play in the NFC Championship game, barring a penalty, and it's basically a pointless play. Won't change the taste of mustard, water's going deep, and it was the exact same play and Berrien hold on to it this time. I think that makes that last drop even worse. That means he could have made the play, he just choked. Same exact play, same exact route, only difference is he caught it. That'll be it for this game, and it's official. The Super Bowl will be the New York Giants against the Indianapolis Colts at Ford Field. Thanks to this shutout here today, the Giants went on the road, and they'll have to do it one more time to take home the trophy. I'll see you in 2 weeks on Super Bowl Sunday.